Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be going over all of the LEGO Ninjago sets that are going to be retiring by the end of this year. And I wanted to cover this because I recently saw an article from Promo Bricks where they kind of go through all of the LEGO sets from every theme that are going to be retiring by the end of this year, and I figured I should do a separate video covering the Ninjago ones, and I might do an overall video as well, just covering all of the themes and kind of sharing my thoughts. But for this one specifically, I'll go through each of the sets. I'll give you my thoughts on them, if I have it in my collection already, and if I plan on picking it up, and let me know the same in the comment section down below. But for now, let's get straight into it. Here we have 12 sets to go through, and the first one is a 4+ set, and this is the Stormfighter Battle, and this one is honestly an okay set for being a 4+1, but it's not one that I really have an interest in. The figures are kind of lackluster, and the builds I kind of feel the same way about, but of course, you can't expect too much considering it is a 4+ set, but this will be one that I don't plan on adding to my collection. Then the next one here is the Kai Fighter, of course, the new legacy version of the original vehicle from Rebooted, and this one is one that I did pick up for my collection, so I'm super glad to have it considering the fact that it's retiring now. It's definitely one that I would recommend. I love the build here. I think it's such a great upgrade from the original. The figures are a bit more lackluster, but still, they're not bad by any means, so I'd say overall a pretty good set. Now the next one here is a one that I think a ton of people are going to want to pick up, myself included, as I don't have this one in my collection yet, and that is the Legacy Destiny's Bounty. This one is definitely a super cool set. I do like it a ton. I think it's absolutely one of the best bounty builds, definitely from the context of the actual Ninjago series. I think it's by far the best one. Now, if you include the Ninjago movie bounty as well, I think that one might surpass it, just because of course, the higher piece count. It can do a lot more with that, but this one, definitely just TV series wise, I think it just nails the design here and is definitely a must-have for any Ninjago fan if you're able to get your hands on it. I know it's a bit more pricey, but let me tell you, I'm sure it's going to be even more expensive on the aftermarket after it retires, so definitely a super high recommendation with this one. Then we move on to Prime Empire here, and we have Jay and Lloyd's Velocity Racers, which is a set that I don't have a huge interest in. I like Prime Empire, but some of the vehicles didn't really land for me. Some of the builds in general from Prime Empire, I like the aesthetic of it, but it's something about the actual builds that don't really feel like anything too spectacular, to me at least, in my opinion. So it's probably going to be something that I will pass on. If I find it on clearance or something of that sort for a really good deal, then I will pick it up, because I don't have any necessary problems with the set, but it's just not something that's on my radar that I feel like is a necessity in my collection. But still a cool set, just not something like amazing. Then we move forward here to Master of the Mountain, and we have Zane's Mino Creature, which is actually one that I was able to get on a sale over at Walmart. I got this one for $39, which was a fantastic deal considering over here in Canada it normally retails for, I believe, $70, so quite a good deal there. And it is a cool set. It's not one that I built yet, but I think that the Mino Creature build is pretty cool, very unique thing for Ninjago as well, which I love to see. The figures are pretty nice as well. I'm very biased to the actual suits for the ninja from this season, because I just really love that sort of medieval look to them, so I do like this set quite a bit, and I'm super glad to have it in my collection. Then we move forward here to the Firestone Mech, yet another Master of the Mountain set that I do have in my collection as well. I love this one. I think it's such a cool mech, and I really love the half and half, even though it might not be the most accurate to the actual show. I still think that's a really cool concept and a great way to be able to incorporate two of the ninja in one set, so I like that quite a bit, and I still think it's a really great set. Then we move on here to the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, one that is definitely on my radar. I really want to get this one, and I'm like crossing my fingers for a sale on this set, because I know it's one that sells pretty well, so I'm hoping that maybe I'll just get lucky and find it on clearance somewhere or on some sort of deal, because I definitely want to add it to my collection, as I think it's just one of the best Master of the Mountain sets and one of the best designed dragons, so definitely like this one a ton. And then we move forward here to another Master of the Mountain one, which is the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons, which is a set that I am fortunate enough to already have in my collection, so Super glad about that because usually I end up stressing out about all of the big sets that I can't really afford as easily or get into the collection as easily. So this is one that I'm super glad I got as a gift from my grandma. So thanks so much to her. Super glad to have it in my collection, and one that I would definitely recommend because it's a really great build and some fantastic figures are included as well. And then we move on here, and these ones, the last four here that we're going to go through, I'll kind of just go through them really quick here. They're the epic battle sets. We have Kai versus Skulkin right here, and just so you know, I have all of the epic battle sets in my collection, so I've already got all of these. Then we move on to Zane versus Nindroid, another pretty cool one as well. We have Jay versus Serpentine as well, probably one of my favorite ones for the villain. I like the actual figure here of the Serpentine. I think that one's pretty cool. Of course, a Hypno Bride member, so I do like that one quite a bit. And then the last one here is the Cole versus Ghost Warrior, which is a really cool set. The only one that I actually have open thus far, because I did a review for the Masters of Brickjitsu channel, which shout out to that channel. If you want to check out my review, maybe I'll link it somewhere in this video. But yeah, definitely a super fun set, and I love the collection of the epic battle ones. Probably some of my more favorite of these sort of gimmick sets, because this one kind of throws out the factor of having to have a gimmick and just gives us a pretty solid build for what it is, and then two great figures as well. So just a really great bonus there, and definitely some of my favorites. But those are all of the Ninjago sets that are going to be retiring by the end of this year. Definitely some really great ones to look out for. I would definitely highly recommend some of these, and of course, as you heard, there's a few that I still need to pick up as well, which I'm sure in the future, if I have the opportunity to, you'll see them in haul videos at some point. So stay tuned for that on the channel, and of course the best way to do so is to subscribe. It is highly appreciated. Also, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. I would appreciate that as well a ton, and let me know which of these retired sets you already have in your collection and which ones you really want to pick up before they go off of shelves. So let me know all of that down below. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.